it produced a standard .NET DLL file. So now that we are done with our F# library, I'll add one more project and I'll use a new website to test the library. So let's create a new F# website called, for example, RSS feeds web. So I'll start by pasting a couple of CSS styles here to make the output a little bit nicer. And now we'll need to create a bunch of ASP.NET controls. So let's start by creating a text box where the user can enter the keywords that he's looking for. And let's give it ID txt keywords. And we'll also add a button. And the button will be called btn search. And it will have a text search as well. And when the user clicks this button, we will use the entered keywords and we'll start looking for the keywords in the fields. So let's create content where we'll display the results, and to present the results we'll use a standard ASP.NET repeater control, which is probably the simplest control for showing some sequences or collections of values. We'll call it rpt content, and we'll specify some item template, and for now we'll just call it item. We'll specify the exact content of the item template a little bit later. And let's add some event handler for the button. So when the button is clicked, we'll call some method of the page. And now we can move on to more interesting things. So let's add the method here, and inside this method we'll need to use our F# library. However, we don't have a reference to the library yet, so let's add a reference to our library. And we'll also need to add references to a couple of F# core libraries. So first of all, we'll need to reference the F# PowerPack, which is needed because we used F# asynchronous workflow and we need to have the library available. And we'll also add a reference to the f#.core.dll library, which is the basic F# runtime that's needed whenever we want to run F# applications. So now we should be finally able to use the types that we wrote in F#, and as you can see we have the namespace already available here, so I'll add one using directive. And now we can create an instance of the feed search object that we wrote in F#, and as an argument we'll need to give it some sequence of RSS feeds. So we'll use a simple array, and inside the array I'll paste the well-known RSS feeds that we've been using in the previous webcasts. Now that we have the instance of the type, we will use its search method. Now as you can see, the F# member is compiled into a standard .NET method, which takes a string as an argument and returns an IEnumerable of feed items. So it's pretty comfortable to use, and we'll give it the keywords that the user entered as an argument. And let's store the result so that we can display it. And to display the result, we'll use the data source property of the repeater. We'll set it to the results that we've got, and then we'll call the data bind method on the repeater object. So let's now select the website as the startup project, and we should be able to run the website. And let's try entering, for example, F# to look for the posts that mention F# in the title or the content. Now, as you can see, we have two items here, but we haven't yet completed encapsulated the ASP.NET code to display these items. But that will be pretty easy because the values from F# are returned in standard .NET classes. So we can use all the standard ASP.NET features. And let's display the title in the heading. And let's copy the code so that we can display the description here as well. Now, if we refresh the web page and search for F# again, we should get the content displayed, including the title and also the full description that has been used inside the blog post. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to demonstrate in this webcast. I think that the most interesting and the most important thing to remember is that when you write a library in F#, you can write it in a way that makes it very easy accessible from C#. So as you can see, we wrote two simple types, and the code that uses them from C# cannot distinguish whether we wrote the types in C# or F# because they're compiled into a completely standard .NET types.
What does this C# code look like in F#? F# webcast series. This webcast series follows the usual F# development process, where you start with experimenting and writing an initial version of the solution interactively using the F# interactive tool. We can also encapsulate it into a standard .NET library that's usable from C#. Here is a list of all webcasts in the series. Part 1, Introducing Functional Concepts. The first part introduces functional programming principles such as immutability, recursion and functions that take other functions as parameter. This can all be demonstrated in C# 3.0. So we start with C# and then look how the same concepts look in F#. Finally, the first part also shows functions for working with lists in F#. Part 2, Using Standard .NET Libraries. The second part demonstrates how we can use standard .NET libraries. It uses classes from System.NET and System.xml to download content of a web page, load it into XML document and process it to find only posts that contain some specified keyword. Part 3. Downloading web pages asynchronously. The third part shows how to make the code from the part second better. It introduces F# asynchronous workflows that can be used for writing code that doesn't block a thread when waiting for the completion of some I/O request. This part also shows how to modify the code to download and process multiple feeds in parallel. Part 4. Developing standard .NET libraries. In the fourth part, we look how to encapsulate the functionality written in F# into classes. We'll finally create a project and we'll wrap the code we wrote into a .NET class. We'll also look how to compile the project into DLL and how to use it from a simple C# web application.